that you write down what you want to do, what you want to do every day, and then you put a dot next to it as you go through the month. Every day you accomplished it.
Huh.
Cool. Very
Uh,
cool. And we are going to get started. So let me just make sure that the lines are clear, and we'll go from there. So Leland Duck was going to lead the Power Half Hour this morning, and he had some life throw him a curveball. Has anybody ever had that happen to you, where you had one plan and God had another plan, and all of a sudden your plan's not your plan anymore, and you got to pivot, and you got to adapt, which is what this whole COVID thing has been all about, right? Kind of a test to see who can pivot, who's flexible, and who's so set in their ways that they're going to march forward come hell or high water and not change, darn it, So anyway, today, what I thought we would do, since we are prospecting like banshees, is practice follow-up. Because I don't know about you, but who is better at prospecting than follow-up? So who's better at prospecting? Raise your hand. Who's better at follow-up? Raise your hand. Okay, good. So you're better at follow-up, Melanie. Good. Well, that's a very good skill to have. If you can master follow-up, then the person that you spoke to is not going to end up in somebody else's group or in some other network marketing company, So follow-up is really huge. So people have different systems for follow-up. I use Genie. Bo, would you mind unmuting yourself and telling everybody about your notebook that you use?
Just my spiral notebook every day?
Yep.
Okay. I tell you just what I find as far as being able to move on in my day, be able to sleep well at night, etc. So I just use a regular spiral notebook, and I'll find a quick page here, just a couple pages back, because I do it every night. Is at the end of my day, is I basically sit down and I write a list, and I put I put boxes because I love to do check marks. I love to check it off. I get satisfaction from that. But at the end of the day, I do everything that I need to do in the next day, or that I want to do in the next day. And then I look at it for a brief second and prioritize the first three things, because I didn't necessarily write them in order. I prioritize the first three things and start with that in the morning. So when I sit down at my desk in the morning, I'm not like, okay, what am I going to do today? Yesterday, when my mind was moving, the wheels were turning, etc., I put down the list of what I was going to get done today. Now, that doesn't mean that things aren't going to come up today that I need to address as well. Of course they are. But if I go after number 1, 2, and 3 and get those accomplished, or number 1 and 2, then at least I've, progressed that far. Then at the end of today, I'll write a list and I'll include whatever I didn't get done today and tomorrow, as well as the things that came up today that I need to address tomorrow. And so, but what it does is, it just like, I leave my desk and I'm going, okay, I'm done with that. It allows me to separate from business and family, etc. after that, as well as to sleep without having to get up and, write something down or whatever, or feel I'm getting interrupted sleep. Anyway, that's what I do.
And Bo, will you hold your notebook up to your screen one more time so people can just kind of not necessarily read what you wrote?
Names, and I didn't actually.
Yeah, so just notes and little boxes, because do you get a thrill out of checking off, like, I've accomplished this and I've accomplished that and I've accomplished this? Do you get a thrill out of that?
I do. That's why I do it.
Right.
And I mean, the other thing is that sometimes I'll do a separate list, which is like the things I need to do errands out of the house. And I'll do it in the order that it takes to go down the highway and get off on the right. And then I'm coming back and I get off on the right, coming back. So I don't have to do the left hands on lights and stuff. So I'm a little anal, but bottom line is I get so much more done when I put that list together than I do if I don't put it together. I'll forget something. I just don't go and do it. Anyway, that's my little trick for my mind hack.
Perfect. And I don't do that because Bo is methodical and I'm not. I'm creative. I'm all over the place. Okay. So what I do is, I usually fall asleep in front of the TV while Bo is unwinding for the day. And so what happens to me about 3 o'clock in the morning is I wake up with that flood of information that Bo wrote down in his notebook. And my liver is telling me, oh, Cindy, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? So I have this company called Night Notes. I don't know if you know about this. It's called Night Notes. You can get it online. It's like $12 or something. And there's a little pen and you pull it out and it lights up so that you can write down your notes in the middle of the night. Because if you have a partner that you're sleeping with, if you get up out of bed, you're going to wake them up. And so what I try to do as quietly as possible is I turn over, try not to rustle the blankets too much. I grab my night notes and I start writing my notes. This is last night, all of these notes, right? So that I front and back, so that I don't forget anything, because Eric Worre has challenged us, and we're going to go to our assignment in 1 second. I may give you more than, well, I'm not going to give you more than one assignment. It's the weekend, so we're going to take a couple days off. But Eric Worre has challenged us to sponsor 20 people in 30 days. So I'm taking the challenge. Is anybody else taking the challenge? Okay, so I have committed to Eric Worre that Bo and I will sponsor 20 people in the next 30 days. We're doing it in the month of February, which is a short month, which I prefer. It only has 28 days. So we're going to sponsor 20 people in the next 28 days. So I want to ask you a question. ASEA has a philosophy called Believe, Belong, Become. I want, as a show of hands, who is a believer here? Okay, next. Who is a belonger here? Okay. Who is a becomer here? Okay. And who here is a builder? Okay, good. Then you're on the right call, because a lot of people are believers, but they don't do anything. A lot of people are belongers, but they don't do anything. They don't build. There's a lot of people that are becomers. They get trapped into the personal growth and they'll study personal growth all day long, but they don't build. And we have got to work with builders. Our job is not to spend time with people who need us. Our job is to spend time with people who deserve our time. Okay? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, and we're all very compassionate people, which is why we're in ASEA, okay? So sometimes we feel so sorry for so-and-so, and oh my goodness, you'll never believe what's happening in so-and-so's life. And we get bogged down in the swamp, and we don't build a business. And all of a sudden, it's 2019, now it's 2020, then it's 2021, and we're at the same level with the same income that we had 5 years ago. Okay. So who was determined at the end of 2021 not to be at the same level, at the same income level, the same place in their business than they are right now? Anybody committed to stepping up? Okay, good. All right, perfect. So let's take the next 20 minutes and follow up. I'll see you in 20 minutes.